Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Legacy Speaks. A few weeks ago, I created a video called Execution Over Excuses, and I was just going in. If you haven't seen it, please feel free to pause this video and go back to it or watch it right after this. But I was dropping some major gems, just pretty much encouraging you to keep moving forward regardless of the circumstances, knowing that regardless of what you're experiencing, God sees what you're doing and He is pleased and He's honored by it. And as long as He gives you the okay and the stamp of approval, nothing else matters. Continue to sow the seeds that are necessary for you to continue to prosper and grow. And the reason why I bring this up is because I'm like, man, lately I haven't been feeling too execution-y or whatever the case may be. I really haven't been in the mood. I really had to push through. A couple of days ago, I had the opportunity to be able to join my sisters in Christ, my wonderful, amazing sister Mercedes, as well as my ministry leader Jess, as we were able to go forth before the nations and pretty much do a Zoom conference for all minstrels, all ministers of movement. And I know some of y'all are probably like,
ministers of movement, what are you talking about?
Yes, dance ministry, for those of you who don't know. Yes, your girl not only counsels, yes, she tells jokes from time to time, but I also dance as well. And dancing has always been just a major part of my just coping mechanism, just my artistic expression. I know you guys get to see me create, whether it's creating videos or just social media content, but dancing has always been kind of like my firstborn creative gift, and I'm very super proud of it. And I'm very happy to be able to connect with fellow believers in the ministry of dance. But the reason why I bring that event up was because it was entitled Intensify, and that literally just blows my mind, especially with this season being the season of do the work. As you guys know, every year I give myself a theme, and 2020 was literally the theme of doing the work. Not only doing the work physically in terms of physical health, but also doing the work in terms of mental health, healing from past traumas, guilt and shame, also doing the work with advancing my businesses, building healthy relationships, and so on and so on. And with this spectacular event, Intensify was pretty much a call to action, making sure that we are raising the roof or raising our levels of awareness, not only spiritually, but mentally, and pretty much what we're doing in the earth overall. But before I get all wrapped up in talking about this amazing event and what I pretty much learned from it, I need you to hit that subscription button below. That way you can stay up to date on newly released content on a regular basis. So let's dive right in. As a mental health professional, when I hear the word power, I automatically think about self-advocacy and the ability to not only empower individuals, but also empower yourself as well. What I find is that it takes a certain level of self-esteem for you to be able to take your power back or to recognize the strengths that you have in every situation. But when you look at the word power, she was saying that the P stands for push, the O stands for optimize, W means work, E is to execute, and R is to take risk. The P for push means a lot because there are times when we really feel like we are at our breaking point or even at this place of stagnation, and we don't know what to do with ourselves. We don't know whether or not to give up, to throw in the towel, to call in for help, whatever the case may be. And we can get so consumed by our emotions. That is a huge thing, because you guys know we are not supposed to just overlook our emotions or minimize them or even blow them up. But we have to take a non-biased standpoint when approaching what we're experiencing in the moment. So the ability to push is literally the desire to stretch yourself, to want more for yourself, and to actually go after it. Now with the O, optimize, I know optimization is so key. When I think about optimization, I think about just being willing to take what you have and extend it even further, or finding ways to stretch what you already have. I know that this has been major for me because sometimes I feel like I'm running out of time or I constantly don't have enough room in my schedule, but I had to look at what I was spending my time on. Am I doing too much scrolling on social media? Am I engaging in hallway conversations? Am I giving too much time and attention to things that really don't matter in the long run? And so when you're trying to optimize your skills, when you're trying to optimize whatever it is that you feel like you're lacking, make sure that you are assessing how much of it is going to things that aren't really necessary to begin with. Now the W, doing the work, honey. Yes, doing the work. That is so key, because we can have all the plans in the world. We can have all of these strategies that we're getting ready to implement, but if we don't put action into those plans, then everything else just falls to the wayside. So I definitely encourage you in this season, yes, write it out and make it plain. Yes, have those conversations with other people who are going to help you move forward or just push past that threshold. But ultimately, it is you that needs to do the work. I remember TD Jakes had spoken to, I think, either Pastor Stephen Furtick or even his daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts. And he was saying that oftentimes we will be praying to God like, Lord, please send me this. Lord, please give me financial increase. God, please expand my territory. God, do this. God, do that. But God will give us all the resources. It's up to us to take those resources and to multiply them and to ultimately do exactly what we're called to do. Now the E, yes, the E. When she said E, initially I thought she was gonna say energy, but that's just me. If you know, you know, right? But actually E means to execute. Yes, we gotta put in the work, we have to put in the time, we have to put in the energy, but yes, we need to execute. Like we mentioned, we can have all the strategy in the world. We can have a head full of knowledge, but knowledge does not become wisdom until it is applied. All right. And honestly, work and execution go hand in hand, because you can have an amazing work ethic, but if there is no direction with that specific work ethic, then you're not executing your goals. You're not making any headway towards whatever you're trying to accomplish. So yes, do the work, but make sure that you are aiming and targeting those short-term and long-term goals. Lastly, the R, yes, the R, and it stands for risk. Ultimately in life, nothing is guaranteed, but we cannot stay within our comfort zones. Literally doing something that's outside of yourself or something that's outside the norm will help push you towards that ideal self. Now, I'm only going to speak for myself as somebody who is very execution driven and somewhat cautious at the same time. For me, I like to take calculated risks. And so going back to the optimization, I utilize my time and I utilize my skill to do research and make sure that I am implementing things that I kind of am comfortable with. But sometimes I know that there are seasons in my life where God is literally pushing me towards things that I've never done before. In the midst of me not only praying, I take time to educate myself on that thing before I move forward. Ultimately, the number one goal is to avoid stagnation and to make consistent progress in the correct direction. Progress over perfection, guys. Progress over perfection. All right, so just to reiterate, the acronym for power: P for push, O for optimization, W for work, E for execute, and R for risk. Thank you so much for rocking with me today. I know it was pretty quick, but I wanted to jump right in and give you a little bit of motivation for the remainder of the week. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Legacy Speaks. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and definitely stay connected via Legacy SBKS on everything. Until next time.